from Splyce, having qualified in the way that they did, and going against FaZe, a lot of aim stars and so on and so forth. But we did see a decent amount of fragging on the train side of things from players like Davey on trains.
Get out of here!
Level. But FaZe, they always have typically loved to find themselves in Inferno. It was a great map for them at the last major, so they're definitely going to be feeling comfortable. And we have the pistol now. And it's kicked off. And
you can see Aria's position. That's actually a massively position, which I'll get back to a bit later. Nice one tap onto Fox. It's going to get wrecked from a position he likes to hold himself. So FaZe with Rob Bun standing behind them. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it. Man disadvantage. They've got 3 players with Kevlar. Makalele is going to be the maybe man for the T side. He is currently going towards Banana, having a look, seeing what's going on. He's got the bomb in tow. And indeed, in terms of massively nadable, similar to where he was standing by tree, you can nade that position Aria was holding.
Aria does have an incendiary though, so this could be quite interesting actually. FaZe, they don't have too many players. They've of course gone down 1 early on thanks to that quick pop from Aria, and Rain's kind of lurking towards the A side of the map to delay rotation. But FaZe, they're being delayed here by some of these nades. A lot of nade play coming in from the CTs from Splyce, and a bit of a trade going on in there, and the lurker is now dead. Rain is out of the picture. It's down to ACJ, Kim and Makalele as they make their own pretty wrong site. Aria in the site, able to get nothing more, as Jason is going to have to fall back into construction. So this is a good take coming in from FaZe. 3 men alive, the bomb goes down. They're looking quite healthy here.
Yeah, no significant grenades on either side, and all the CTs are going to be from CT. Abe is not going to make anything happen, neither is Jason R. So it's down to Professor Chaos after a good start for the CT. Down to 1 versus 3. He needs to find a tap, almost gets one. Doesn't happen though. AZ to finish things off. FaZe definitely happy with that.
Yeah, good start from FaZe. Able to keep the CTs on a poor economy going into the early stages of the match is always very, very preferable. And we'll have to see what their play is going to be here, because this is that typical anti-force buy sort of situation. There are some teams that on a map like this, where you really favor having a strong first buy as CTs with lots of nades, where you wouldn't go, you wouldn't spend everything like we see Splyce doing now. But either way, you need to have an anti-force buy round prepared here, and let's see how FaZe handle it. We don't want to see them split up. We want to see them move in a coordinated way, using all the Molotovs to move CTs out of dangerous positions and to then capitalize with those SMGs.
So Splyce have got 3 CZs in tow, and they've got 3 players close to mid. As you can see there, a bit of a crossfire going on. If FaZe opts to put down smokes, which I don't think would be a good idea, then the CTs may choose to dance around them as seen. But FaZe with nice angles being held, so the push does come in, but nothing, no fruition there for the CTs. Staying still in the balcony area. You can see Rain playing the range game. Speaking of range, in with the 5-7, picks up a UMP, and there's another frag for the CTs. The bomb is down, in control of the team, but Davey is still a problem in that position. Aria's getting a long-range shot onto Jacob, so now FaZe down to 2 versus 3.
Yeah, that's really quick. I'm not sure how that even managed to occur, but it's a 2 versus 2 now as Fox is starting to take the impetus, picks up the bomb, and makes his way into the apartment. So he does have, of course, the support of Fox, who's already cleared out the site from Makalele with that bomb. And Abe is going to be creeping up here with this P250, looking for more significant weaponry, and he will find an and he's going to lose the battle against the P90. So things not looking too good here for Aria with 4 HP. And he might decide to actually say, let's just try the next round, and just keep this AK alive. He's got a Molotov, he's got head armor, Kevlar, a CZ of which he can drop to a teammate.
He's got $4,600 in value, Dan.
Exactly.
That's what he has.
So yeah, very smart to just hold off here. But really great result, to be honest, for Splyce. I thought, initially their trade frag setup at the top of mid is actually quite good at punishing teams that don't really have great coordination on their anti-force Splyce. And if you hit the shots, you can cause a lot of trouble, and that didn't work out too well. But then that means Splyce managed to save themselves, still getting 3 kills. So job done there, especially considering the AK-47 is saved. Now the interesting thing is going to be how they use the AK, because in this next round, they don't need to save this AK. AK in the next round. They don't need to protect it. They can take risks with it if they, and that'd be really fun to see what kind of risk they would decide to go with, especially as Arya can drop the CZ, which he has done, to Professor Chaos, who's now actually brought Kevlar behind it.
FaZe are a team who have done pretty terribly as of late, and they're a team who historically have not been the most organised, even at times where Robban has been behind them. Still early days in terms of that experiment, but my point being is that I wouldn't say this is necessarily guaranteed for Splyce to get wiped out here by FaZe. I mean, if things don't go well for what will happen in terms of temperament. We saw G2 get 16-1 yesterday, so I wouldn't rule them out just yet. Good start as well. Arya gets potentially can put out chaos, but he's just gone down towards B. Trade coming in though. Two players down towards B side. One side of the smoke, and you have to imagine he will try to save his Arya, player who's been on a great many teams in North America, mainly due to instability, I would say. I remember when we were inviting teams to qualifiers for previous Face-It leagues, and he'd be on Area 51, but then he'd be on a different team, and there'd be like shuffles within weeks and so on. So it looks like a more stable time and a stable roster here for Splyce. So we'll see what they have to offer. Bearing in mind, they have absolutely no pressure. They've got nothing to prove, as it's a bit of a Goran Ivanisevic at Wimbledon scenario that we have here.
One of the cool things as well is that Arya could just, I think, straight up, how much money is he going to have? He's got 2,600 right now. It's going to be the third loss, so that's going to be $2,400. So yeah, he'll be able to just straight up drop an ult for a teammate if he wants to, because he saved his weapon and his armor, and he's got a Molotov still, so he could drop an ult for somebody if they want, and they'll be able to have full nades. That option is there. But of course, Splyce did invest maybe a little bit too much in the previous round, so the money is not nearly as good as it actually should be in this position.
Orb has been dropped.
And we do have a replay here. We can see Rain just going for the entries into the B-bomb site.
Money.
And to be honest, Splyce actually had a decent chance. It was a really cool push to second mid. Again, we talked about taking a risk with the AK. That's exactly what they did. So
Professor Chaos has picked up a Mag 7 and full nades. He looks like he's going to be playing towards Axe, which is fine. Davy's got the AWP. Actually, Davy's going into the Axe ahead. Who perhaps will be in for support, but Arya's got himself another frag with that AK, so he's causing serious problems. Professor Chaos looking towards balcony, can get a one-shot from there. Oh, that nade is 30, down to 49 HP, that's a big problem.
Yeah, this is a really cool start here for Splyce now, because the fact is they didn't have many grenades to begin with, and they get the first frag really quickly. Unfortunately for Splyce though, they're not the apps. They're playing aggressively still, even though they have the advantage on players. They're going to lose two members. So now Jason R is under a lot of pressure, 1 versus 4 essentially on the bomb site, and of course he gets traded. He does get 1 kill though, so the retake attempt is possible. Arya and Abe going in, not many grenades ready to speak of. Abe just going straight in alone, and Arya's getting caught behind the smoke. So that round started off really well for Splyce, but it kind of fell apart. I mean, they were playing aggressively after that first kill, and you got to question if they're tempting fate there.
But one issue is you have to bear in mind what this North American team is used to playing against. When you have AZ. True. People can spot that little strats. We can see Splyce has bought up here. They've left themselves with about 2k in the bank. Got 5 players with Kevlar, that Mag 7 onto Davy once again. We'll see if he can have more success with it on this occasion.
Yeah, this is looking to be a pretty solid start for FaZe. Splyce have had some good opportunities, but we're starting to see them get whittled down in this round as JKM picks up the first frag in the apps again. Nice angles, and Fox is looking for the entries up mid. So just some basic map control plays from FaZe. By no means really committed to anything just yet, and it's going pretty well. They're picking up all the frags here. Just 1 player down, and it's Arya left alone now for the Splyce side with that Deagle and the Kevlar. He's going to find himself an AK-47 and see if he can get something done here at the bottom of mid, but he gets flashed and sprayed down by JKM. So 5-0, and Splyce now with that max round loss bonus are going to be on some good money, as we can see. So the AWP is going to come into play for Davy, but yeah, it's I'm curious how this is going to go for Splyce. We haven't really seen anything just yet. That's too encouraging.
One thing to always bear in mind or to look out for those of you watching at home, is when you see in a situation where one team is ecoing or something and there's a weapon on the floor, it's quite common that the team with all the guns is going to expect them to look for that weapon. So you might see somebody hanging around that weapon looking for the other team to go and pick it up and then punish them for doing so. So that's part of the meta to keep an eye out for when you are watching CSGO games. So again, CT's back on the buy, 2 people over towards B and 3 towards A. Fairly standard setup. Sometimes you can see a double short or double long setup from the CT. Sometimes people boosted onto the roof towards short, but nothing different going on really here. A very standard setup here from the Splyce team, although they have the smoke down the bottom of Banana now, and that will be a strong advantage for them. They have 3 smokes in the hole at the moment, so they can continue to re-smoke that for a while, and that will make the general hold of the map a little bit easier for Splyce.
Yeah, and so with Arya pushed up towards Banana and that initial control towards there, it's going to pressure FaZe to take more attention towards the middle area just to begin with. And Splyce now fallen back, and if instead of playing 4 players towards A and having that control of B, they're actually sticking 2 to B, and this is happening whilst FaZe are pushing up into middle now. So very defensive play coming in, and of course we do get that kill onto JChem, so this is actually nice to see from Splyce. So Jason R is playing from CT spawn base, or from Arch side from CT spawn basically, and there's 2 players in pit for Splyce. So this is quite tentative now.
Yeah, he's got no information for his team has Jason R. From the Arch position, he could have a teammate flash him from the pit area, but the push is coming in. We've got 3 people pushing short basically, 1 in apps, 2 on short itself, and they're getting all the frags. They've going to trade, but he's going to get traded straight back. Man advantage for the T's, but there's 13 seconds. Bomb being planted on default. Down it goes. So both Splyce players coming from the CT position, but it seems that Abe might be, well, he ran backwards for a second, so I thought he was going for the save there, but I think he's going to join his teammate just in case he can get a quick frag. Arya perhaps moving towards the apps, although it does look like a save indeed. Abe is starting to back off. So we're heading towards a 6-0 for FaZe Clan, so an excellent start for them. No scores or money for Splyce going forward here.
I mean, the thing is, if they're able to save both of these rifles, then they can actually force up the next round, because Arya and Abe can drop their rifles. They'll still have the $3,400 bonus from losing 5 in a row, so they can rebuy their M4s. The only problem though is that they will only have the ability to then afford like 1 smoke each or something. So that's the main issue there. And right now Splyce are showing that they're struggling to keep up in these big pushes. We're seeing this big push finally coming to fruition. Removing both players from pit is Michael Lele. So really strong. That was.
Normally without being shot, but he chose to go towards B instead, so that was an advantage he could have had there. Could have put somebody closer to T-Apps, but it's not going to be the case. They've got 2 people towards B. Arya getting shot straight in the face. We've got trades coming in towards the B-bomb site, but the T's are there in numbers. B's clear now. We've got Jason R close, but his teammates are strained behind him. We've got AZ watching in from outside the apps on A, so the FaZe Clan only need to worry about the CT area. Jason R's got a strong position, however, range 70 as well, so they might need that rotation to come in sooner rather than later from AZ.
Yeah, he's just chilling in Vietnam at the moment, just sitting in the crawl space. As we'll see the 3 players with Splyce actually in position to go for the retake. Just the smoke slowing them down, but those are dissipating now. Although that said, AZ has a wealth of grenades at the moment. And there's Professor Chaos diving on pull, and both players being spotted towards Banana, but it's not really going to help if they can't get the frags. Jason will throw down the incendiary there. And, oh no, actually, sorry, it was the teaser for the incendiary, but I missed completely. And this is just a mess now for Jason R. Can he even survive? No, he cannot get out of there in time. And Splyce are forced to a position where they have to quasi-buy, essentially, in this round. They won't really have enough for a significant buy. I mean, they can get FAMAS and nades and so on, but they won't have an AWP. We're going to see Arya on the Mag 7. It's like they're just going to keep buying. I mean, there is an argument for that. They've lost so many rounds at this point. But the problem is nades on this map. It's always going to be about nades on this map.
Yeah, they've got a reasonable amount of nades here, 4 smokes in the bag. So we'll see if they opt for some aggression to try and take map control, but they even try and They need to try and get some surprising kills as well, maybe some pop flashes here and there. So looking to charge down towards Banana, those Molotovs will slow them down. You can see the boost coming in as well from the T's. This could take them by surprise. Fox is looking for somebody to show their ugly faces so he can rip them off. So it may not be the case. Abe's going to be smarter than that and won't give him said opportunity. So we're going to have one CT rotating over towards A while these smokes are down. I'll try and bolster the forces there.
Yeah, this is how you would expect it to happen, but
down.
But the smoke was surely still down there. I think that might have been a frag through the smoke. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like perhaps was, and that's a really big loss there. Of course, Aria was going to. He hadn't thrown his smoke yet. The idea was that he was going to throw a smoke down. He could rotate back to the car, play just for information, and fall back onto the site. But now, Splyce in a lot of trouble. And oh my goodness, Fox gets another pick. That's Abe down. That's the round. That could be just the round just won right now, because Splyce having to retake from this position is going to be next to impossible. And they recognize that immediately. They'll be going for the save, and if they're able to keep the 2 or more weapons alive, they can still buy fully in the next round. But the thing as well, that we can think about in that round is that there was a lack of grenades for Splyce, because then you were able to save 2 weapons, and they keep trying to force buy with that money loss bonus. But then they don't really have enough nades to be comfortable. They're like, okay, we don't have quite enough nades, we want to be aggressive. Well, they're forced to make plays that maybe you don't actually want to make in the ideal world. So
FaZe have nothing to lose in this point. They've got more than enough money in the bag, and it's very valuable to them to try and kill as many of the remaining Splyce players as possible. So you've got Fox hanging around just in case, and the rest of the team will go on the hunt. See if they can get the frag. Doesn't matter how many go down at this point. At least one of them's on 10k, and there we go. The wipeout is complete. 8-0 in favour of FaZe, and again you've got Splyce on ropey money. So we'll see what the option is here. Okay, so Aria was moving around in the smoke.
There's the boost over the smoke, yeah.
The silhouettes was enough for Fox to do what Fox does.
That was massive too. And yeah, that's one of those interesting differences. And we will see the quasi buy here finally from Splyce, so they can actually have a full-on buy the next round. But yeah, you got to know exactly what spots to step in to be safe from that boost. And
Davey went for the run into mid and did the nades that actually AZ does as well. Although he didn't really have the best spawn for it, and he could have been shot. There was a shot fired as he was crossing. But there we go. Nade doesn't do any damage either.
So we can see once again these trade frag setups in the middle area. We saw this from Splyce previously as well on their force buy. They didn't get much from it then. But FaZe don't actually necessarily know if they're up against a quasi or a force buy, because Splyce has been buying basically every round. So it's hard probably for them to read it. But that shouldn't matter too much. See that FaZe have taken over apartments. They've got Banana as well. The only thing they're missing at the moment is middle control, and that's where 3 members of Splyce are currently situated. In fact, 4 members of Splyce are currently situated. So will they run into this little stack here from Splyce?
Bomb is being collected by FaZe boys. 45 seconds left on the clock. In terms of map control, but JKM is changing that very quickly indeed. Nobody in the pit for the CT, so that should be a free bomb line for the CT. It's quite tagged, but he's going to pop up. Fox is going to get the frag, and that should mark the end of the round. Aria coming in from the back. I don't think that gun's going to be savable for him either, so he may just try to position himself for an exit frag. But we're looking at 0-9 in favour of the FaZe clan. FaZe up, that's what those COD people say, right?
I don't know. James, quite frankly, I have no idea.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
But right now, is there anything to give you confidence that Splyce will even get around on the board at this point? I see hesitation.
Not particularly, no. I don't see... I think in order for that to happen, I think they need to smoke off Banana and hold it.
Well, this is the first round where they'll have the money to get the nades to do that. So I would be encouraged by seeing that, like the full nades, including the full incendiary setup, so that you can play more passively. And I mean, Davey's picking up an AWP here. It's something that Davey could be quite good at, is picking up an early advantage for the team, and I would love to see them play the man-up advantages correctly in in basically having a situation where, okay, we get the 5 versus 4, so now let's just play very passive. So, okay, maybe we'll get less information, but we won't need information as much because they've got less players. So we can trade properly when they try to push a site, and then if a retake is necessary, we'll win it.
To be honest, there's not much going on in the way of kills on the Splyce side at the moment. Aria has 7 kills, but there's been a number of rounds early on. I think he might have got, well, there's been a number of rounds early on where he got a few kills, but some of them were low impact kills as well. And beyond him, they've got 2 people on 4, 1 person on 3, and 1 person on 1. So there's not really a lot happening. But really, I think if they are going to start winning rounds here, I think they just need as many people as possible on A with banana smokes off, and someone not getting picked through the smoke, which is just unlucky.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, trading and, I don't know, stroke of luck.
Well, the thing about not getting picked off with the smoke there is that when you have these deep banana smokes, it's actually common enough that that you would see it in professional matches that you'll have the boost on the palm pop.
Yeah.
And from a lot, many months ago, up to a year ago, you'll see even some teams in the position of Aria that actually would just pre-fire that spot. Like, you'll have the smokes up, you pre-fire it. What you also need to know is where you can step, so you won't be visible to that boost.
Yeah.
And there are some teams and players that are super highly sensitive and cognizant of that kind of stuff, and you can see it paying off. Like, if you watch, for example, let's say a Fnatic or something, a really high level team, they won't make mistakes like that. And you can see, as you say, that the round fell apart after that. Then Abe had to rotate, he got picked off. It was a pretty hot mess, and we have a situation also where now FaZe, every time they do a default, they try to take apartments or they try to take banana or middle. They always get the kills they need. This is also another problem. There seems to be problems all over the place.
Yeah, and again, I think that's part of the problem of usually playing much weaker opponents, is that things that you expect to work, things that you're used to working, are not going to work against individuals. Never mind team, individuals as skilled as AZ, as skilled as Rain. That ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and here it is, Davey. Can he get the early advantage? Is he actually going to run straight to balcony? Okay, he's just going straight to quad. So it looked like he was considering a little bit of aggression there with that timing, but he's going to be sat on 8. So that's 4 players on A at the start, and will Davey just run the circuit all the way back towards B, or is he going to stick to Arch? Looks like they're going to have a very passive 4th-man setup on A. Interestingly, and this is blind as well. Like, as you say, this is fine to do if you smoked off banana and you have info, but what if they go B? Splyce just lose the round.
Yeah, Abe is about to smoke off banana actually from Arch, and Aria still has the smoke in the hole, so they have that. But are they going to wait too long to smoke it? That is the question. You can see he's just waiting. There's almost a minute on the clock here. If he manages to get that down in time, which looks like he might, then they might be all right here. But Splyce would have seen that smoke came from B. I mean from A, excuse me. You have to wonder if they have the deductions to wonder if one person is here, because the entire FaZe team is over towards B, which means they have no vision towards A, although they are not going to expect to get aggressive. Just pushing Aria on his own. He gets almost 2, only gets the 1, and that's it. AZ's gone a bit crazy, foaming at the mouth down. He's taken down Jacob.
Yeah, so it is the 3 versus 4, but we're going to see that Splyce is very fast in the rotation. 2 players in construction, or more or less immediately. So this is actually a very doable situation here for Splyce. They've got the advantage, in fact. So let's see if they can actually execute right now. And FaZe got the plant down. They've got positions on the site. They've got sort of heat and play set up in dark and new boxes, as well as Michael there by the pool position. So smoke set down as well. That will help out. And Fox picks up the first flag. And there's the trades as well, leaving things down to 8. He's got the rifle, goes for the spray, he's going to miss though, and the defuse is going to come in for the CTs, both with kits. And I think you nailed it on the head there. That setup is insanely risky if you do it too late with just having one guy on the B bomb site, because as soon as they see that the early smokes are being thrown over, with no peaks or anything like that, there's no sign of anyone, and the smoke's thrown over immediately from Arch side. There's some questions to be asked there. There
are indeed, and there'll be questions asked from Splyce of FaZe Clan with 2 AWPs on their side. So as they wonder what kind of angles we will be seeing. Arias picked up the second AWP, he's going over towards B. Davey again, is he going to go for the cheeky jump across mid? No, he's going to go for the peek in fact. Fox is already posted, as they would say in America. Although he seems to be looking at the boost now, and Aria's on the side of the car, so neither person will be holding an engagement angle, if you will. And indeed, Aria will move all the way back into the site itself. Davey taking down Jakin with a peek towards second mid. McClelly just holding an angle there, but nice to see some aggression from Splyce. That will slow down the FaZe clan, and always good to be unpredictable as well versus much bigger opponents.
These setups are kind of nice. Again, they're doing the 4-man setup on A, and this time Aria's on the B-bomb side with an AWP, and of course Davey's AWPing from A as well. So really, and oh, by the way, also Aria's sitting on coils, and that's the position he's in, so there is definitely risk there, and Davey is going to get the pick onto Fox as he goes for the push up into mid, so the AWP area is really paying off. We already had a expectation for Davey to be a big player in a match like this after his performance against Fnatic, and so far he's able to get something done here. But can they close the round? Here comes FaZe. AC with a double straight into the A bomb site with that AK-47, and Mike Lely getting the plant.
Indeed, there is a fast rotation coming in towards short from A, but he may have to wait for Aria. It's a 2 AWP, 1 M4 retake. We'll see if they choose to pick up a weapon. Abe, in fact, looking over towards Pit, where an AWP would be much more useful. Counterblast is coming in for both sides. And there it is. AWP comes in towards Pit, and McLeod goes down. 3 versus 2. Clock is ticking, but again, still going to be hard for Splyce. Basically, he needs to charge the site with AWPs in hand. Down goes 1. Both coming in from short. Crossfire from Razy and Rain, and that will be enough to get back to winning ways. Splyce's economy has been reset.
Yeah, the reset. Oh, the reset's so painful, especially on a map like this.
ODB came in for that money.
Oh my god. Well, Davey's got an AWP at least. But that's it, James. That's pretty much all they have that's of any significance, and he can't afford to be anything but naked with it. Just the AWP, nothing else. A flash. The rest of his teammates on CZ's armor, and 1 kit on Jason. Some flashbangs to work with too, but here comes the map control plays out of FaZe.
Look at a boost from Davey. He's looking into Banana, being boosted by Aria in the back, and there he's going to have fruits for his labour. Down goes Fox, wondering what on earth just happened.
That's pretty baller, James.
It is indeed. We'll see if FaZe choose to respond quickly. They can't really calculate exactly how many weapons Splyce have, but AWP may move them away from B. Indeed it will. Great option by Splyce. I mean, if that was a European team, I wonder if the AWP would have already rotated back.
Oh, that was almost perfect. Abe could have potentially got 2 there, but at least he gets 1, which does put the advantage to Splyce on the members. And wow, the CZ's doing damage as well, finding lots of 1 versus 1s. JK now versus 4, but he can't get it done. So the round will be picked up with 4 players left alive, meaning that they're going to pick up some. They're all going to pick up guns here. So now they've gone back to 2 AWPs,
nice.
2 AKs, and a Mag 7 on Professor Chaos. So that's a nice turnaround, but you have to wonder: is it too little, too late for the Americans here of Splyce?
Well, it's never over until it's over, as evidenced by the previous match, Dan. Double AWPs, and the Mag 7 continues on Professor Chaos. Just a replay of that timely boost. Fox just flying in the air like a dove rather than a fox, but he got taken out by the farmer protecting the sheep, Dan. 3 players for Splyce over towards the bomb site now. We've got a player spotted in T-Apps, but there was no connection made there with the AWP. Davey going to be more aggression. It's a nice angle to hold, actually. Although he will have to flick up if somebody peeks him from the apps. As you can see there, just testing the double peek coming in. That is glorious from FaZe. Haven't seen this kind of synchronization from them before.
And Professor Gale's going to actually go up there, looking to try to get something done with the Mag 7. Really get the AWP. And risky business, does get out of there alive with some info. Aria feeling the pressure towards Banana as well, but it does look like Splyce are going to be in for some trouble here, because FaZe still got a bunch of grenades left, still got a minute to play with as well, and they can still go either which way. Although, do have a pretty aggressive position on A by the wagon there, so playing the smoke. But he does get flashed away, so nicely done by FaZe. Very methodical, using their grenades to win positioning. And does look like they want to get that B play going.
And look at the positioning of the 2 Splyce players on A. This is going to be the longest rotation. And Abe, they have no vision of top mid or arch to the CT side. So Abe's having to move back towards CT in case the flank's coming in case they're getting wrapped. So Splyce are in a horrible position at the moment. And here comes the next.
As Aria in the back of this bomb site, he's being isolated by the Splyce. Aria's going to get it done with the orb. There's frag number 1, looking for more, and they're getting burned alive. Aria with the finishing shots from the AWC as they've now found himself in position, and things are looking very dark indeed now for FaZe. It's just behind. He's got not much time left to play with. And FaZe are going to lose that round. So Splyce picking up some rounds towards the end of the first half. That was really well handled by them. But FaZe with 10 rounds on the T side, they've got to be feeling quite confident.
Splyce are slowly prying open the window of opportunity, and the money's starting to run low for FaZe here. So you can see some picks from Aria. Those smokes and mollies just in the right position. Started off with a nice double peek though from FaZe towards Zap, so it's nice to see a lot more coordination from them than we have seen in the past, which is quite promising. Charge up Banana, 2 fast frags for them. Davey one back, but he's still holding an aggressive position. Down goes another one, there's the bomb as well, and he can still post up once more and try to get that third pick. Baited into the shot by Makalele, and he will take him down 3 versus 2.
Yeah, lots of aggressive play coming in here from Splyce. This used to be the only way they can get things done, and this time we can see that it is indeed live by the sword and die by the sword, as they are now at a massive disadvantage in players. Professor Chaos versus 3, and the flank is coming as well.
From the back.
Jake with the Tech 9, and he's going to see his legs. Maybe he's thinking about the knife, but JKM finishes off Professor Chaos, and if you look at every single spot where Splyce are picking up advantages, it's not by playing this classic Inferno and basically having good positioning, good setups with the grenades and so on. It's because they're going crazy and pushing in crazy spots, like pushing second mid with an AWP, or pushing apps with an AWP, or pushing a banana with an AWP. And these are plays which are nice, but you don't have to rely on them.
So you can see Jacob just disposing of 1 grenade, so he can pick up a different one, as can often happen. So we've got a 4-man push from Splyce. They're charging down mid. But FaZe is going up second mid, and they could get boosted now. Someone's got to find a frag soon. Fox is fighting the whole there. And while the rest of his team cover his back, Rain with 3 super fast frags, and that's what I'm talking about. Just not used to playing against people like Rain. Looks like a Bond villain, plays like a Bond villain, except often he will win the battle at the end. The war, as well as the battle down. Abe is alone in a cold world, and he has been dispatched of, Dan. Mercy was laid. 3-12.
Another one of those 3-12s.
I don't see 5 overtimes happening this time.
I don't see it either. It's just the difference in individual skill is just too great. I mean, one thing that does go in the favor of Splyce is they have some explosiveness, which can definitely be helpful on the T side. But the T side of Inferno requires a lot of good coordination, flashing for each other, and this was already brought into question on the analyst desk. They had, bringing up some stats about Splyce being one of the teams that flashes the least, and on a map like Inferno, going for dry peaks is definitely not optimal. That's one way to put it.
Nobody wants to be dry, Dan. Moses was wearing sandals the other day. I don't know if he was dry though, but you don't want to be dry like feet in the desert, for example.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Neither do I.
Where's this
Splyce,
going?
shut up. Splyce will need to part the Red Sea to get back into this. See what I did there, because the colours of FaZe red. There's not much to really analyse here. Splyce have 3 rounds on their CT side, so the end is probably nigh, but not guaranteed, never guaranteed. But they're going to need to have the game of their lives. Best of 1, playing for their tournament life here, versus FaZe, who are individually, you must say, far superior.
Oh yeah.
And they're playing as a team.
I mean, FaZe could also just play a style where they play very, very passively, because essentially, if you look at Splyce are going to be having trouble with coordination, with, again, nading into certain spots and removing positioning. So if that's their weakness, don't play aggressively and then take that weakness out of the equation. Force them to play in that weakness, and there's no better map to force a team to play like that than Inferno, where there's really hard choke points all over the place. This is the key. This is, to be honest, a great map for FaZe to play Splyce on.
Bro fist coming out for FaZe.
But we'll have to see, FaZe is FaZe, highly individually skilled, so they might decide to get aggressive. We'll just have to see. But I would expect them to play just pretty passively and just close it out fairly quickly. But we'll have to see how things pan out off of the pistol round. As you can see, there is not a single defuse kit on FaZe. Right, I can see.
Well, I can't see.
You can't see it right now, but now you can.
There we go.
So not a single kit on FaZe. So they want to fight, James. Kevlar for everyone.
They would not have it any other way. Aim duels for days, but it is a pistol round. There's no helmets up in this. Fox, though, off to a good start. Jacob moving back to the B site, and Splyce on the instant retreat. They've got one player, that's Davey in second mid, but again, Rain's going to try and make as good use of this range as he can. Makalele to get the second strike. Splyce left with 3. Not a single point of damage done to the CT side yet. Rain getting a frag, Rain getting another frag, and finally someone gets tagged from the CT side. But the crossfire. He's got the bullets to do it, but AZ's coming in from the back, of course, to finish things off.
Yeah, what a disaster there. I mean, typically the battle with the USPs and the Glocks is all about, and on a map like this it can be hard, because the Glocks will perform very well at close range, because they can jump around. The USPs, they fire a little bit slower. They're really bad against armor. You really have to hit the headshots to get the kills. So the Glocks want to close the distance on you. And FaZe picked up 3 kills at range before. That is such a sick result. And of course they closed it easily because of that. And now they've got 3 P90s jetting.
The dual Berettas have better range for one taps, but then obviously they are a little bit more difficult to wield. So I do wonder if they will come into play more often on T sides for pistol rounds. But here we go. Again, it is 3 P90s on the anti-force buy here for FaZe. There can only be glory where P90s are involved on the second round.
Yeah. Actually, at the last major, players like JChem and AZ showed insane stuff with the P90s, to be honest, although AZ this round is on an M4, but AZ typically has insanely good spray control, just like the likes of JChem. So, I mean, they're all... Okay, they're all...
Are you talking about spray control with a P90, Dan?
Yeah, man, run and gun.
Is this what you're actually doing?
But generally speaking, saw some good stuff from them with P90s. Anyway, no nades for them. They want to fight the Splyce.
Oh no! He's been shot in the face. It's a P90 down, and they're going to have the P90. Professor Chaos has picked up the M4 as well. The bomb is on the way. The FaZe clan are slowly streaming in, but the smoke is down. There's a flash onto Arya as well. He's thrown the M4 for a teammate, but he's been shot through the smoke. The P90 coming in to deliver glory down, to deliver justice.
Well, the bomb down. The bomb down. Trying to get that bait in there, but the P90, the M4s, looks like eventually they will prevail. 14-3, and it almost backfired. It almost backfired, they had no nades.
P90 came in to spread the good word, Dan. Through the smoke, no vision was required. FaZe clan are 2 rounds away from taking the match and sending Splyce home, telling them to fold up the flags, Dan. Quietly exit the building.
Quietly is definitely the operative word there. So FaZe now looking to get a bit aggressive, charging down middle. Why not? They don't care about playing this theoretically optimally. They're just going to get in there.
Fox is going to miss the push through apps because he wasn't holding the right angle, but he's finally got the jump on it. But is he going to get in there? Abe goes down, Aaron goes down. There's more fun to be had. And D coming in from the back. AZ quickly clears that up. Jason goes as well. Professor Chaos versus the rest of FaZe. International team.
Just like all 4 players in quad. It's just ridiculous. This is just jokes at the moment here from FaZe. 15-3, they are now 1 round away from sending Splyce home.
There is the AWPer himself, Mr. Fox. We're not going to get him. We're not going to get to watch him hold any angles with the AWP on this map, it seems, as Splyce's arsenal is quite limited. It almost looks like it was raided before they went in to pick up their weaponry, so the best they can muster is a deagle or 3, 2 Tech-9s and lots of nades. Do they have an execute? It needs to be a fast one. We've got Fox. Indeed, actually, he is holding the angle. The thing about Fox's angle here is that it is very susceptible to grenades. Not anymore because he's moving forward towards the car, but when he's holding that corner, if you're standing by the tree, you can double the stage, but nobody ever does, and I find it amazing that he gets away with that every match he plays Inferno.
There's some damage onto the pistoling players of Splyce. We've got a few Deagles in play at the moment, and they're not successful in the picks thereafter. And even though, we're going to get repeat after repeat from the likes of Fox, he'll take down both players with the AWP, and now it's just 3 left for Splyce. Davies on 14 points of health. In goes the nade. He's going to look for the peak. JChem is going to assassinate both players, leaving Professor Chaos against 5 to save his team. Oh dear.
Professor Chaos likely gonna get sent back to school, Dan, by the bedlam provided from FaZe Clan. Rain is in range to get one-tapped, I do believe. But Rain is Rain, Dan. Oh, the timing though, he's coming in just at the wrong time, and he got the cross in the head. There goes Makaleli as well. But AZ will be the man with the plan who can finish things off here. 16-3. Splyce's run has come to an abrupt halt, and FaZe move on.
They're trying to put us back on schedule, James.
They're doing their best, Dan. So plugs from the